So I didn't know there was a sequel to this movie. Just one day, just looking, you know, for actually old horror classics to rewatch, and then I was like, there's a second one of these? Alright, whatever. So yeah, the movie I'm going to talk to you guys today about is See No Evil 2. Now remember with the first one, it's this rundown hospital and, wrestling guy is there, and then these bad kids have to go and clean it up. And there were times where things were felt kind of Tony Scottish, and it was like, the whole like characters look at the camera, give them a quick backstory kind of stuff. As bad as that movie was, this is worse. Katharine Isabelle's in it, so it can't be that bad, right? It's Katharine Isabelle. I love the Ginger Snap, series. So it seems like this time this movie takes place in a hospital rather than hotel. Fine. Another building with a shit ton of rooms where things can go wrong. And it's directed by, those twins. My voice sounds great after 4 days of a convention. There's so much bass in my voice. We have a main character. She is a coroner, something. I don't know. She works downstairs basement of a hospital, the morgue area, because why not? And her work buddies, these two dudes, make her a cake. Kind of cultural appropriating a bit, but, they make her a cake. So she's on the phone with her friends because, they make her a cake, it's her birthday, and it's like, hey guys, I'm getting off of work, blah, 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 let's go. And they already clue you in where all the cell phones for work have to be locked in a safe. So, obviously with a movie like this, when shit goes real, no one's got any cell phones. Also, at the same time, you're in the basement of a hospital. There's not going to be really good reception. Like, I worked in a hospital at one point, no-go. So either way, even if they didn't have the whole like our cell phones are locked in the safe, anyway, I need to really stop overthinking about these movies. So of course, what ties the first movie to this movie, besides the wrestling guy being in this one as well, is that this is directly after what happens in the hotel. All the fresh bodies get wheeled in to their hospital, and the girl was like, you know what guys, I'm gonna stay and help you guys, and the guys are like, no, it's your birthday, don't don't go, blah blah blah, and she's like, no, I have to help you guys. There's a really quick scene inside an ambulance, and we remember at the end of the first movie that wrestling dude got the thing through the head and the fling and the flying, and he's dead. They try to resuscitate him in the ambulance, and, flatlines, he's dead, but then you see here, like, it's a shot of his hands, obviously, but you see, like, his, like, finger moves a little bit, and it's like, dun, 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 la, 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 la. She goes in this one room, and her friends all surprise her by just, like, jumping up from the bed, like, surprise, oh my god, we can't go to the party, we're bringing the party to you, around all these dead bodies, where you should be working, because there's a mass murder that just happened, but fine, we'll have a little party in the morgue. Every one of these movies, especially that has a party scene, always has a guy that's dressed like this. Always with like the beanie that's way too far back on his head. You guys see his big high forehead. It's either goatee, like some stubbly beard. It's always a vest. Always a motherfucking vest. And of course, and since, the friends are there, this is where we get our body count for the movie. Because if not, if it's just 3 people, it's not that exciting. They're drinking out of freaking beakers because that's sanitary. And also, like Katharine Isabelle's character and Douchebag's character are dating, and he's sitting on top of, elder Ethan Hawke right there, who, mind you, is a character who's wheelchair bound. It's like, okay, Katharine Isabelle plays the slut. Okay, sure. The main character is the girl on the right, that's her brother on the left, who is a fucking giant. And of course they have this quick dialogue thing of like, oh, thanks for coming, you never been supportive of me, and that stuff. Her colleague, who made her the cake, or bought her the cake or whatever, he very obviously has a crush on her, so he's not partying, he's there doing whatever he needs to do. By injecting the stuff that barbers clean their combs into this person's stomach. I don't know. I'm not a mortician. I don't know this stuff. Katharine Isabelle and Douchebag, they go in the elevator to, I guess, find some private time, and then they come out and they're on the same fucking floor. They're literally on the same floor. And I know, like, hospitals and all that stuff, every floor could look the same, but it's the same floor. They only had access to, like, one floor in this freaking movie to be able to film at. But of course, like, also they end up, so then they go and find a private room to do whatever, and of course they end up in the room that fucking big guy is in, because why not? Her character is so, weird isn't the right word. Her character is just like, I'll bone anything, even if I have this boyfriend, I'm gonna sit on top of this dude's lap in front of my boyfriend, ooh, ooh, ooh. Also, I'm gonna, see, oh, this is the killer, ooh, now this is making me hot and heavy, and then I'm gonna get on top of him, Like, he even says chuckles, yeah, I'm gonna get on top of him, and then start, like, berating him with insults, like, alright. And what's funny is that a couple of shots where it's like this, where she's, sitting on top of him and everything, you can actually kind of see his chest, like, move, like, he's obviously breathing. Yeah, so she gets, like, mad close to his face, and it's just like, oh, what does it say here? Did mommy make you do, oh, blah, 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 and it's like, he's dead. Especially if he's, like, I don't know, there's probably, like, a smell. Alright, I'm done. Let's look at her, she's like, so the douchebag is like, stop it, and she's like, what? Stop what? Does this make you upset? And it's like, oh, you just can't wait for them to die, So, oh yeah, there's this character, I'm gonna call her Thirsty Girl. She just, like, out of nowhere just starts making out with the brother. Then we get back to Katharine Isabelle and douchebag guy fucking. And she really is just like, it's like she's cheering him on. She's always going, yeah, 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 oh, do it. Like, she's like, keep with the beat of the song, tappa, tappa, tappa. And it was just like, alright. Yeah, there's a dead body next to you, right? It's just so weird that, like, the setting of a morgue just makes everyone so damn horny for some reason. And then, at one point where they're fucking, like, Katharine Isabelle looks over and the bed is empty. She's like, what the fuck? Of course, the light goes off. She gets some matches. And of course, he's right behind you! He finds his mother, and the whole time they film it from the side because we're reminded that he kills his mother by shoving her, like, head through a hook thing in the wall. So they film it from the side because we can't afford this. Ooh, and that's where all the budget went into. That. It's pretty good, though. Pretty gross. And I love how he immediately is like, alright, well, now I have to exact my revenge, because why not? And I find this mask that perfectly fits my face and everything, and then the meat apron thing. I'm good to go. So we see him, he's like, he loves his little, like, swingy hook ball thing that he does. And then it's fucked up because he goes after the goddamn wheelchair guy. And I was like, come on, man, he's in a wheelchair. Leave him alone. He actually didn't do anything wrong. Like, probably the only wrong thing is, I guess, to allow the friends to come. Actually, he did something wrong. He allowed the friends to come. So we already know the douchebag boyfriend's dead. Katharine Isabelle somehow got out of it. Whatever. And now, body count number 2 is wheelchair guy. It's even fucked up, too, because the big guy throws the hook and goes into his leg, but he's wheelchair bound, and he's, he can't feel his legs. So he didn't even know until he was trying to crawl away and felt resistance. It's like, man, that sucks. Yep, there's a douchebag. There's the wheelchair guy. Finds the thirsty girl in the bathroom, and he's, like, choking her out. I guess, that's what happens when you're thirsty. Yeah, and then she dies in this, like, Jesus-y pose. And again, with the first movie, it was, like, very kind of, like, odd, random religious connotations to things. Yeah, and I love how Big Dude barricaded one of the exit doors. Like, somehow no one saw that or heard, like, clank of chains and stuff. They're just like, anyway, people probably just fucking. So we see here Katharine Isabelle's hiding behind a mesh shelf. One of those wire shelves. Yeah, she's the next one to go. And it's funny because even when the love interest guy told her to hide behind it, and that's the shelf, that's the shelf she hid behind. Even her character was like, this is a terrible hiding spot. I'm like, yeah. And so she tries to run away, she gets slit across the neck. It's funny, yeah, like the brother is pretty much the same height as the big dude. It's like, alright. And he wasn't just like tall, he was just like big too. It's like, come on, dude. And I feel like the brother's also the kind of guy that, like, records himself at the gym. You know what I mean? So, you know, all this is just more vanity. Whereas Big Dude is like, he's big because it's actual strength, you know? They find Thirsty Girl, so she dies Jesus pose in the bathroom, and then she is Jesus pose on another exit. Again, all these chains, and no one hears it. No one hears the chains. Chains. Change. It's been a long weekend, I can't speak. Here, the brother is strapped to a table, and the two of them are like, oh, we'll get you out, get you out. Then suddenly, like, an electric, like, cutter comes through his body, and he's like, no, my brother, my brother. Wow, I can't really scream. Okay. On their way out, they're like, okay, let's leave out, like, the freight entrance or whatever. But yet, again, they're hiding behind, like, a chain link fence with more, like, mesh shelving. I love, this is probably, like, the third or fourth movie I've seen in the past month where a character gets injured, and they either, you know, it's like shirt, this guy has, like, a shirt and then, like, a long sleeve on, you know, like a button up. I've seen in another movie where a guy is like, you know, full like winter coat on, and you know, like, oh, they get hurt. Normally to, you know, fix that, you know, you take off your shirt, you wipe it off, you do whatever you need to do, but the lack of budget, they don't do it, so you can't see. Like I said, all the budget went to that thing that they did with Eye. So here, he has his shirt, his undershirt, and then his, like, button up on top, and then she's like, okay, anyway, let me cauterize the wound. So then it's like, the shirt's gonna fuse to it too, but whatever, I'm helpful. And what you didn't expect, but kinda did, because it's one of these movies, the main girl dies. She goes to a door, and she's like, yeah, we're gonna leave through here, and thump! Just big old thing right into her stomach. You kinda was rooting for her, because she was kinda like the smartest one of everyone in the movie. So of course, love interest guy is like really upset, and oh yeah, while she was cauterizing his wound, like, you know, she made it like a joke, like, oh, like, after this, you know, something like, take me out to dinner, and then he's like, pretty much like, oh my god, like, she liked me this whole time, and it's kind of like, bitch. When they were in that one room, and they wanted to leave, they, like, the girl trying to go through the window, then somehow, you know, with, again, these movies, the killer's outside. Somehow he's outside. So then she's like, I have to go back in the building. So then that's why they go to that door and then gets killed. And then the guy goes back to that room to try to exit out the window. Of course, big guy knows exactly where he is because it's one of these movies. And then there's this long slow-mo shot of a shelf of jars falling. Like that. Like one of those Instagram posts where the slow-mo starts happening way too early. It's like someone's about to like jump in the pool. So it's like run, 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 run. You know, and by then you know what's gonna happen. So it's like a splash, oh my god! And you're like, oh, that was a poor place to put that. So it had me thinking when these jars were falling, I'm like, because we're in a medical facility, like, oh, we're just gonna light the bitch up, like, light the shit on fire and go. No, nothing. That doesn't happen. It's just a thing that happened. He sticks them with some blue goo, that blue barber stuff. He sticks it in them, and he's like, and it's like, oh, he's got to be dead. So the dude gets out, he gets in his car, he drives up to the gate, he goes out to, you know, open the gate. He turns, and we know that when he got out of the car, he closed his car door. And then he turns around, and he sees that the back passenger door is open, and you're like, dude, don't go back, you know? Like, just don't go back in the car, just keep walking. Well, who's behind him? It's the big wrestling dude. So no one ever comes out alive in these. Somehow he's still alive. Now he's probably fucking more immortal than ever because he's got blue goo in him. Ends with like something the mom said in the first movie. The end. Yeah, that was See No Evil 2. The first one was better. Like, really, the first one was a lot better. And it's funny, because I had previously talked about S. Darko, which was, obviously, the first one was a lot better. But with these movies, sometimes it's like, the first one's like, oh, and then the second one, when they get, like, a different director, a different team to do it, it's like, you know, this was a lot better, like Ouija or something. But this one was like, alright, I actually like the other one.